Hello, welcome back to RCJetsUSA. Today I'm going to show you how to do DIY Afterburner. As you can see here, I did this for myself and I would like to share that with you guys. Let me show you how powerful it is. As you can see, even with low battery, I'm just using a battery that is not fully charged and it's very bright with big LED chips. So first of all, I'm going to demonstrate how much of power it takes over time, like within 4 minutes how much of power it will take from your battery. So that is good to know before we do anything else. So let me set it up and get back to you guys. Hello, I set up everything. I have the timer here and also I'm measuring the voltage of the first cell. Zoom in, then we can see how much of voltage we have within the cell number 1. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the monitor and connect the back burner, and then you will see and also enable the start the timer. So let's check after 5 minutes how much of voltage it has taken. Okay, zoom out now so that I can remove this. Okay, I'm going to remove the monitor. I'm going to connect my battery so that you can see the afterburner starting. And also I'm going to start this guy. Okay, then that's enough for us. I just reset it and let's zoom in and get the battery check. Let's go for the first cell, 387. As you notice, cell number 1 had 3.87 volt at the beginning of our test and it was still the same at the end. So it does not consume much power at all. So your jet's battery power is safe for flying activities, which is the most important thing. Hello folks, I'm going to explain how to get this afterburner done by yourself just by following the same steps that I did. As you can see on the screen, if you are not familiar with electronic components, don't worry. This circuit is not that complicated and therefore anyone can do it as DIY project. However, please take all the safety precautions when you deal with any electrical and electronic components. As you can see on top of the screen, towards the left side, I have listed all the required components. All of them I bought from Amazon, so you won't have an issue of finding them online. Something to mention, rear motor LED mounting brackets. I actually printed them using 3D printer. I designed them to suit my MiG-29 Jet's motors. As you can see on the screen towards the right side bottom, those were printed using a 3D printer. So I have the files. If you need it, email me. I will send you the files, or you can modify it to suit your requirement. Or if you are using for the same jet, you can straight away print them. Also, battery connector. So we are using a balance port connector. So basically only the first 2 pins we need, the rest we don't need because we are using only one cell voltage. So that's the input jack for the power, and also auxiliary on-off switch, which is optional. It might not work for 5-volt circuit, which is in our case, but anything more than that it will work. But I have mentioned that anyway, so it's useful to cut off with a switch if you need to, but since circuit is 5 volt and it will not work. The mounting bracket, you have to glue to the rear of the motor, and that worked for me, and it is very strong and it did not uh, blow out. And electronic circuit, I'm going to first explain how to identify the transistor position. So as you can see in the green square uh, bracket that I have mentioned on the screen, there are three mounting points: collector, base, and emitter. So if you once you hold the transistor flat side towards your face, the left pin, starting from left, it's emitter, base, and collector. So the one with the arrow is the emitter. So in the circuit diagram, make sure that you select the correct pin before you solder. And I would highly recommend you to use a breadboard and plug everything before you solder them. When it's come to capacitors, pay attention to the positive and negative, and they are marked clearly on top of the connectors. So please solder them correctly, otherwise the circuit will not work. Resistors do not have positive or negative, so you can attach them any way you want, but do it correctly as per the diagram shown here. Make sure have the correct watts as mentioned when you buy them. As per the diagram shown on the screen, you have three outputs coming out from the circuit: two positive channels and one negative channel, which will be common to both the channels. Each channel should have at least 5 LEDs connected in parallel. You should mount the LEDs to the bracket's round surface and solder them in parallel, having correct positive and negatives connected together. You may also glue the 5 set of LEDs to each bracket. Two cables, positive and negative, attached to the brackets have to be long enough to drag them over to where you normally place your batteries within the jet. Once you have done all those mentioned items, you will get what you can see on the screen right now. I have listed everything that I have completed, the complete product as well. And also you can see the circuit is in a smaller box that I printed, and also I have put RJ socket so that I can remove cable whenever I need, if I want to move to another jet or something. So you can think of doing that as well. That's all, folks, and I hope you will get this done properly. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, and I will reply to them with the information you need. Thank you.